Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your Wrestle Kingdom 15 preview and predictions. I cannot freaking believe that Wrestle Kingdom is only 2 days away. Monday afternoon at 3 p.m., John and I are going live to react to day one. Tuesday afternoon at 3 p.m., we'll be going live to react to day two. I am extremely excited. Wrestle Kingdom, even when it's not the most hype thing in the world from an actual, like, hype, I guess I kind of overuse that word here, but an actual hype perspective, it always delivers. Even when we're feeling it maybe like a 6 or a 7 out of 10 excitement level, the show always ends up being an 8.5 or a 9 at worst. I am so excited. John, tell the world how you're feeling about WK this year.
Oh, dude. I mean, it's funny because we talked about New Japan quite a bit in our year-end awards, which if you guys missed that, and depending on what categories you like the best, you can go back and you can watch the whole thing on our YouTube channel. And even though Stardom is my favorite promotion at present, New Japan, to me, for the longest time, it held that fort down, especially after Lucha Underground went away. So it's always going to have a soft spot for me. And Wrestle Kingdom, to me, and I would still stand by this even with Stardom kind of being the best thing going. Wrestle Kingdom, to me, has far more of that WrestleMania feel than WrestleMania itself has had for the last several years. The last time I really felt like it was WrestleMania, and I mean really felt like it was Mania, would probably be 30 with Bryan's huge title win. Maybe only a year or two before that, like with Seth, Becky, and Kofi all winning. That I think would be the most recent. But Wrestle Kingdom, I think, has the constancy that WrestleMania has lacked. And kind of keeping that in mind and looking at this card, I mean, I know your background that you've got here seems to emphasize night one. And just even looking at that, it looks absolutely stacked. So I will give my hype level a solid 9 out of 10. I think that's fair. It leaves a little bit of room just to say it.
Same exact, yeah, nailed it.
Yeah. But, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I'm very excited to talk about this card with you today.
Okay, I am as well. And hey, let's not keep wasting time. Let's get right on into this thing. First match on day one is the New Japan Rumble, which is technically the dark match, but it actually has implications on day two because the final four of the New Japan Rumble will compete against each other for the provisional King of Pro Wrestling 2021 trophy.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess let's just pick four guys that aren't in any other matches on day one or day two already.
Is Ishii in anything that we know about?
I don't think so. No, he's not. So we'll pick him.
I'm obviously going to pick him to be one of the final four.
Suzuki, I'll pick Suzuki as well. He's not in anything.
I'll co-sign with you on Suzuki. Do we think Honma could do something?
Well, he's not in anything, so he could.
I'll go with Honma. You don't have to join me on that, but I don't know. I think Honma might be a safe choice. And what about Yano? Because wasn't he carrying the trophy previously?
Yano's not in anything. I think the current champion is actually Fale, but he's not in anything either. So,
you know what? Swap out Honma, then I'll say Yano and Fale. So Suzuki, Ishii, Yano, Fale. That sounds pretty.
I'm actually gonna say Ishii, Honma, Yano, and Fale. I think Suzuki might be a little too serious for this thing.
Okay. I'll go with Yano to win it. I'll go with Yano to win it back. I think Fale probably wasn't going to keep it too long, so I'm going to go for a change here.
I'm not really super interested in predicting a title change here, so I'm just going to assume Fale keeps it. Second match, though, and really the first proper match on the show, which, I mean, holy shit, talk about opening the card hot. Hiromu Takahashi versus El Phantasmo to determine the number one contender for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, this should be fucking amazing. Especially if given time to breathe, this could really be something fun. I'm just gonna keep it succinct though, because again, predicting New Japan shows is always so weird because we only watch the main shows, so we really don't watch anything in between. I'm just going to say that Hiromu wins here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to lean into that as well. I think I'm also going to pick Hiromu to win. This is kind of a tough one just in the sense that, like, Phantasmo feels so hot right now. He's coming off of that amazing Super J-Cup performance, but I just feel like there's more story between Hiromu and Ishimori, so I'm going to go with Hiromu as well.
All right, next match.
I will say it would be really fun if this went to some kind of draw and we got a triple threat on day 2 between Ishimori, Takahashi, and Phantasmo.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I just see them making it very simple. I just think it's a very basic A to B to C kind of story with Hiromu having to overcome the juniors in Bullet Club. So
yeah, that's true. I'm just thinking like it could be interesting if maybe Ishimori and or I guess it wouldn't be an and, but if either Ishimori or El Phantasmo would turn on the other, that could be cool.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you.
But anyway, let's get into our next match. Dangerous Techers, Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi defending the IWGP Heavyweight Tag titles against the Gorillas of Destiny. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. They're back, baby. They're back in actual, like, Japan, New Japan.
Yeah, you love to see it, but I got to tell you, man, I mean, just one man's opinion. I do feel Tama Tonga has nerfed himself a little bit since becoming Maven Light, so I'm going to go with Dangerous Techers to retain the tag titles.
You know what, though? I almost wonder if he did that specifically for the American audience, and now he's going to let it grow back for the Japanese audience.
Maybe, because that hairless face, no. So if he does grow it back, I mean, there is a strong chance for a title change, but I'm still going to go with Dangerous Techers here to retain.
Yeah, that's probably a safe bet.
Although, I'm sorry to cut you off, but can I just add one qualifier? New Year's Dash, I always feel like belongs to Suzuki-gun, and they may have to lose everything to be able to do anything. So, I don't know. Do they want them to go into New Year's Dash with a little bit of hardware? How long have they been champions? Anybody got any stats on their reign?
173 days right now.
That actually feels pretty long for a tag title run.
Yeah, I'm going with GOD, actually. I'm going with GOD. I'm locking it in.
I'll stick with Techers. I just always want to look at every possible angle.
Yeah.
But even after doing that, I think Dangerous Techers. I'll be like you with the Battle Royale. I'll just go with the champion. I'll just keep it conservative in that sense.
I like Dangerous Techers, and they were my tag team of the year 2020, but I really feel like GOD finally being back, it's time. It's time for them to get another good run with the titles, because last time they had a run was pretty much all of 2019, and that was when they had the fucking Ring of Honor moment, nobody give a fuck about no ROH, and, like, they were fire. So, like, GOD with a long run seems like it's just one of those combinations that can't go wrong. So I'm just buying in, and I'm going to hope that they win and get another long run.
Yeah.
Unless a really cool tag team is formed that can take it off of them, I'd be down for that. But right now, the tag division feels relatively barren. Dangerous Techers have held the titles for damn near 6 months now. I think it's time. So, yeah, GOD for the win here. Next match, we have got Kenta versus Satoshi Kojima for the IWGP United States Championship Challenge Right Certificate. John, obviously we're both picking Kenta here, but I'm curious, do you think Moxley shows up and we get Kenta Moxley on day 2?
Dude, I freaking hope so, because, I mean, first of all, I just have to say, I'm heartbroken we're not getting Juice in this spot. I mean, he's still above this. He's still above this, and I want to make that perfectly clear. Again, guys, go back and listen to my passionate Juice rant on our year-end awards, because I did give him underutilized talent of the year.
But I forget, did you give him Babyface of the Year too, or no?
I think I gave him Promo of the Year, but not Babyface of the Year. I don't think I did anyway.
I think you gave him Best Talker, not Promo of the Year.
Oh, well, yeah, that's really what I meant. I should clarify. But yeah, I don't think I gave him Babyface of the Year.
You know what? I'm fucking looking. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it again.
I mean, there was never any doubt. I gave it to Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, I just wanted him to get that New Japan payday, or that Wrestle Kingdom payday. and really get to be a part of the show. So it sucks that he's not. But yeah, the real prediction here is, does Moxley show up? Because obviously Kenta's beating Kojima, and that's not even a diss on Kojima. I mean, that's what should fucking happen. I hope he does, but honestly, dude, you know how we always like to do the over-under? I would personally set it at 30%. I don't know why. I just look at it as really low. And yeah, I don't think it'll happen, although I desperately hope that it does, because I think Kenta versus Moxley for night 2 could be fucking fire. So let me ask you, whether even if you and I both think that Moxley won't show up, should we just kind of quasi-predict that match anyway, just in preparation in case we're wrong and Moxley does show up?
Yeah. I mean, if Moxley shows up, he's showing up to lose the title and then go back to AEW, right?
That's what I think, too. So really, I could see Kenta sweeping Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, God, I hate to keep going there. I really feel like we have an incomplete card here, because if we exclude dark matches, night 1 is only 6 matches. Actually, both nights. Both nights become 6-match cards if we exclude dark matches. So it really feels like an incomplete card in a sense. Maybe that's just because of COVID, though. Maybe that's just because they want to have the bare minimum that they can get away with on the cards because of COVID. That could very easily be. But I really, really think we're going to get Bullet Club shenanigans. Like, this might be when we get the break between the Jay White-led half and the Evil-led half. And I genuinely have to wonder if that's going to happen on this show.
See, dude, and I think that's going to come to a head. Well,
you know what? Your dash?
I was thinking New Year Dash, but I want to go into that more later, if you don't mind. So I just want us to keep kind of going through this card.
Yeah.
When we get to the more,
Yeah, that's fine, man. That's fine. All right, so we agree that Kenta retains, and then if Moxley does show up, Kenta beats him for the title. 5th match, though, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus the Great Okan.
Again, I'm just going to be straightforward. I think Tanahashi's winning this.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I
we
like
disagree on this.
Oh, so you're actually picking Great Okan.
I am. I think they really want to get behind Okan, yeah.
Yeah, See, again, I can't say what I really want to say without getting ahead of myself on other matches, and I don't want to do that.
Oh, geez.
But yeah, I feel like, Tanahashi's just going to win for reasons I'll get into later. So,
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I just think I think Tanahashi's kind of at that stage in his career where he's going to be putting over the next generation and really making him look legit and credible. I think Great Okan is a guy that New Japan is very invested in. Because he's that big guy with that great look, and he comes off as a supervillain, and they really gave him a really cool gimmick to work with. It makes him really come off as a supervillain, even past just the appearance, with like the crazy fucking squawking in the ring and the Mongolian chops and shit. Like, dude straight up comes off as like a Japanese answer to the Iron Sheik or some crazy shit like that. Like, I really think they want to get behind him. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he held singles gold before the end of the year, even if it was just like the never openweight title. I really think he's in line for a title run at some point this year, even, which gives us a full 12 months to work with. So I'm not even really going out on that much of a limb, I don't think. But yeah, I'm going to pick Great Okan to win here. So next up, our 5th non-dark match here. Okada Osprey. Oh God.
See, can I go first on this, please?
Yes, please do. Yes.
Osprey's winning.
I agree. Yes,
and that's why I'm not picking Okan, though, because, dude, you got to understand, from my vantage point, I look at Okan and really just the Empire kind of in a Jay White-esque way. Like, Okan's getting this great match at Wrestle Kingdom for his first big Wrestle Kingdom, just like Jay White did when he debuted the Switchblade gimmick. And he challenged Tanahashi for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
But he lost that match.
Right.
But then he goes on to like fucking beat Okada clean. Now, obviously, we're talking about two different individuals, but the way I see it, Okada will have a great showing against Tanahashi, but he won't win. The real breakout is going to be Osprey beating Okada clean. I think he's going to pull a fucking Jay White. I think he's going to beat Okada clean, and everybody's expecting Okada to win and get back at his quote-unquote brother for stabbing him in the back. And Osprey's going to pull the win out. Because I don't like it, because you already know that I prefer Juice to be groomed as like a top guy, Jin. Yeah. But I honestly could even see Will becoming world champion in 2021. And I think you stake your claim by beating the guy. And here's the thing, too, and I wanted to kind of go in depth with this, which is why I really appreciate you letting me go first. New Japan was so smart giving Okada everything early because he's never going to look uncredible again.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like to me, dude, and I'm
not only that, but at this point, like, he's intentionally handicapping himself. So if he loses, it's like, oh, he could have won if he just had the Rainmaker.
But see, dude, and here's the thing, too. I'll go even further. I could even see Okada maybe not necessarily hitting the Rainmaker, but I could see him attempting it. I don't know how far they'll go with making Osprey look strong. I mean, do I think he would even kick out of a Rainmaker? That's a bit of a heavy bet even for me. But, like, again, just to go back to the point that I was just making, I'm giving Okada every record conceivable early. And they did it, and he earned it, by the way, because he carried it in fucking great matches and being a phenomenal athlete. But because it all worked out as a perfect storm, New Japan is perpetual lightning in a bottle here because Okada could lose 5 straight Wrestle Kingdoms, and he's still fucking Okada. That's the brilliance of what New Japan has done here. They've got a perpetual top guy that I honestly don't care how many L's he takes because you know he's never going to take that many anyway. He's always going to be that guy. So there's no problem with him losing to Osprey. Like, dude, he could lose to Osprey, right or wrong, and then he could go to New Beginning in Sapporo, say, win the world title, and neither one of us would bat an eye about it.
Right,
because it's fucking Okada.
Yeah.
So Osprey's winning. Yeah. Okada doesn't need this. And again, I'm not even, given everything that's happened, I'm kind of mad on Osprey, which sucks because I used to really enjoy his matches. Now it's kind of a labor for me to do so. But he's becoming world champion this year. I'm pulling the knife out early.
Dude, either he's becoming world champion or he's winning the G1. One of the two.
Yeah, he is having a big fucking year this year. And anybody that doesn't like Osprey, I am telling you now, so you can get your bodies ready. He is having, barring injury.
I'll tell you straight up, dude. I think I really like what Javar said in chat. Okada finally goes for a Rainmaker, but Will counters it and eventually lends Stormbreaker out of it. I think that's probably the exact finish they'll go with. But I want that to be the catalyst for a year-long story of Okada just not being able to beat Will having every counter in the world to the money clip, and Okada either being unwilling to or hesitant to pull the trigger on the Rainmaker because the last time he tried it, Will countered it and won the match. And then Wrestle Kingdom 16, we might even get a world title match, Okada Osprey, that Okada finally goes over, and they make this motherfucker an underdog.
And you know what, too? With New Japan's writing, they could fucking pull it off.
I know. That's the thing. Okay, but let me just say, though, I have two reasons, and this is backtracking a little bit, because you just said so much, and I'm literally going back to, like, one of the first things.
That's fine. Floor's yours.
So, two things as far as Okan winning. First of all, I think the biggest difference here is that there is no championship on the line. I agree that, Jay White going into that Tanahashi match, I think we both might have had a little bit of expectation for him to win, but I think that most people would have agreed that Tanahashi was retaining because of the fact that it was a title match, because I don't think that anybody really expected Jay White to return and immediately win a championship fresh off of a new return. Second of all, though, Jay White was like a slinky, scuzzy, cheating heel. Okada's a monster heel, and that's why I think he's winning here.
And that is fair. I guess for me, dude, I don't see all of Empire right away establishing dominance.
I do. I have them sweeping the weekend, dude.
But, dude, and I only say this, how many times have I predicted that of far more established factions like LIJ and stuff, and it blows up in my face?
That's why it blows up in your face, though, because they're already established. New Japan still has to establish the Empire, and that's what they're going to do this weekend.
Well, we'll see, man. We'll see.
All right, so I have Okan winning, I have Osprey winning, and then we get to our main event of night one. Tetsuya Naito defending both the IWGP Heavyweight and IWGP Intercontinental Championships against Kota Ibushi.
Is there any serious doubt about Ibushi winning here? Because I have some doubt, admittedly.
I do too. Oh, God. Oh.
Okay, this is one where I am going to jump the gun and just not give a fuck because I need to talk about this match.
Okay, if you're going to talk for a long time, can I just get what I want to say out of the way?
Yeah, you go first.
I am very split here. Let me put it this way. I'm 80% certain that Naito is not leaving Wrestle Kingdom as champion. I think that there's an 80% chance that either Ibushi or Jay White walks away from these two events as the world champion. So that right there, immediately, Naito is at like a 20%, 1 in 5 chances that he keeps the title through both matches. Out of those other 4 out of 5 chances, though, I really do not know who to pick between Ibushi and Jay. Because Ibushi, it's like he deserves a run. I could see him winning one night and then losing it the next night. I could see him winning and then retaining. But at the same time, I could also see Naito retain against Ibushi and then lose to White. Like, this is so much less predictable to me than it was last year. Because for all the people that are like, oh, it's Ibushi's time, he has to do it, you're the same motherfuckers that were saying, oh, it's Naito's time, he has to do it back in 2017. And I know, because I'm one of them, okay? So I am not going all in on Ibushi becoming the golden rainmaker, or not the golden rain, the golden whatever the fuck, the golden ace, I don't know. Because we've lived through this before. New Japan's trying to teach us something, and we're not learning from it.
Yeah, and I'm going to be that guy that says I vehemently disagree with you. Because I feel like the story very plainly is Ibushi didn't beat Jay White one time. And again, this isn't counting events that you and I don't watch, so I could have a gap here. I'll leave it to Mets or fucking somebody to correct me. Chiefin. Ibushi didn't beat Jay White at all in 2020. He lost him at Wrestle Kingdom Night 2, lost him in the G1, lost him for the briefcase. So it's going to be a symbol that if it's really Ibushi's time, he's got to start 2021 on the right foot. So I feel like he's going to beat Naito here, and he's going to retain against Jay White, who I'm just happy that Jay White's finally main eventing a Wrestle Kingdom. I know. Well, night one's kind of a traditional thing. But to me now, I think we can shift perspective since they're doing 2 nights for the second year in a row. Now we can look at night 2 as its own kind of grand thing. I think Ibushi's going to end this world champion. So, Javaris, you can officially declare me as in your corner here, bud, because I really do think the story is Jay White had Ibushi's number in 2020 to really make a clean slate, the Ibushi era, which 2021 is presenting Ibushi that opportunity. He needs to overcome Jay White, and I do think he's going to. And I'll go one step further. I think Javaris had a great mindset when he said dropping it to Will at Dominion. Because, dude, here's the thing. If Will is going to become world champion, who better to do it with than the guy that he made the moment with that other companies have, like, fucking memed more or less than Ibushi.
Oh, you mean the Rana where
the Rana landing on his feet and the camera pan? Yeah.
I don't think New Japan sees that as big as a moment as American fans do.
You could be right about that. I'm not just going to say flat out that you're wrong. But yeah, I do think
like
it'd be pretty
saying
symbolic.
The moment, like it's like the biggest deal. I feel like New Japan would disagree with you at least, and I know I would.
But I mean, they've had some really.
I was going to say, yeah, like to me, that's not even the biggest moment in an Osprey Ibushi match. Let's not forget, Osprey did the fucking hidden blade to Ibushi's face once.
And see, you and I remember that. I wonder, though, how many other people collectively remember that compared to the Rana spot. See, I would, and then that's where I would kind of give a bit of pushback. But regardless, I do think it's an appropriate pair for Osprey to win his first world title. So I even agree with Javaris there. I think Ibushi wins, and then Osprey beats him for the world championship down the road. And I think Dominion's a nice place to kind of put him at. So, or could be, next Wrestle Kingdom. We never know. So yeah, I'm going to go with Ibushi here, and I'm jumping the gun here and just saying, yeah, Ibushi both nights. So.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. So, I tell you what. Just to lay me bare right now before I get into my whole diatribe, I do think I'm going to pick Ibushi to win here.
Okay.
But... and this isn't me taking back my prediction. I'm locking it in. I'm picking Ibushi to win. But
yes,
what if the story that they're telling here isn't necessarily the rise of Kota Ibushi?
Then necessarily I have to ask you, what story do you think they're telling?
What if they're telling Ibushi hitting a fucking low point?
Don't you think they already kind of told that, though, at last year's Wrestle Kingdom when he lost both nights?
Well, no.
And then he had to kind of
came back and he won the G1 right away.
Well, yeah, but don't you think like that was the low point? Then he had to call himself out, which he did, winning back-to-back G1s.
I mean, that might have been a low point, but I think that there's still very much a rock bottom that he could hit.
So we would just have him lose here. And I think the only thing I would concede to you about that being a possibility was that Ibushi did get here a bit unconventionally because he lost his briefcase to Jay White. I think it was only because Naito granted him a title shot.
Yeah, like he lost his briefcase, and then through the kindness of the champion's heart, he was gifted a title shot. So, like, imagine him not taking advantage of that and losing here. And then Naito goes on to face Jay White on night 2, and Ibushi is just directionless. He has nothing. He has nothing to do. There's nowhere for him to go.
I suppose that's possible. I just don't personally like it because I already feel like that automatically slots Ibushi in to be a favorite to win another G1. And I've started to really like Ibushi, but I don't want that.
See, I almost see it as a potential for an Ibushi heel turn. You think I'm stretching too hard here?
I do, man. I really do. Okay. I can't vibe with you on this.
Dude, there are two fucking earth-shattering storylines that are just creeping around in the back of my head that I can't escape.
Yeah.
One of which is the Bullet Club fracture.
That I definitely think is happening.
The other one isn't. The other one, though, is an AEW invasion.
I see where you're going with this. Heel Golden Lovers, right?
Yeah.
Because Kenny's heel right now.
Yeah.
So...
Well, and then they could fuse together those two storylines, too, because Kenny could take over one of the halves of the Bullet Club. Maybe even the evil half of it, since Evil's such a shit-tier leader.
Yeah...
He could make Evil. He could make Evil his underboss, while Fale sticks around as Jay White's underboss.
Okay, so here's what I want to do. I actually want to talk this out. I don't want to dismiss anything because I know Chad's kind of got a dismissive air, and I don't appreciate that. We don't just dismiss things here; we talk it out. So here's my thing. Here's why I think the Bullet Club fracture is happening. You already know that I'm picking Jay White to lose regardless. I think that's going to make him look bad in the eyes of Bullet Club, and I think that's going to blow up at New Year's Dash. I could see them, because you know how on New Year's Dash, like every show, there's like those big factional tag team matches, like 8-person tag matches or whatever.
Dude, that's I look forward to New Year's Dash every year because of some of the crazy storylines that come out of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly, because I see Jay and Evil being a part of the same tag match, right? But like, that's going to implode. I think you and I can both kind of co-sign onto that. Right. What I'm wondering...
Probably even like a fucking crazy-ass like 12-man tag or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, so I definitely... I am like 95% fucking confident the Bullet Club fracture's happening.
You know what, dude? Well, I just had a thought in my mind, and I think we're getting babyface Jay White this year, like full-blown. So I am actually going to sign on with you, again, jumping the gun, with Ibushi winning both nights.
Okay, so do we even want to keep talking through, though, AEW potentially invading? Because I did have a question for you about that.
I do want to hear everything you have to say. I just want to let that be known.
Of course. No, I wanted to talk this out because, I want to know your thought process because you never know if you convert me to something. You know that's happened many times. I'm just wondering how you got from, because AEW is currently doing the thing with Impact. Do we know if they have anything going on with New Japan? Because I think they've wanted to do.
I mean, dude, they've been teasing. They've been teasing it for so long, and like, I'll never forget. There was like one random week where everyone in AEW was making references to New Japan.
See, I wasn't even aware of that. And if I was, I've honestly forgotten it because you know how AEW is with me.
It might have been, dude. It was fucking 2020. It was Corona year. It might have very well been one of the weeks that you were doing your cold turkey thing.
Yeah, maybe. Very well could have been.
Because I explicitly remember like AEW fans on message boards losing their fucking minds and being more obnoxious than usual. And like, all I was thinking was just like, shut the fuck up, AEW performers. You guys are doing nothing but stoking the flames. And now all I can do is think like, what if something happened that week? And it's been months since because they wanted to wait until Wrestle Kingdom to do something about it.
Yeah. I mean, dude, again, here's the thing. You know, on this show, sometimes you and I come out of there with, like, left field predictions, and it's like, come on, man. And then it happens, and it's like, fuck, and then the other person's, I told you. So like, I will give you all the credit in the world if this pans out, because again, you and I are totally tight. Like, I'm not even gonna try and backtrack. That Bullet Club fracture is 150% happening. AEW Invasion, I guess. Here's why I could see it for New Japan side, because I'll tell you what my initial like visceral reaction is. I'm trying not to be biased against AEW because I viscerally loathe them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like what upside is there to New Japan, and here's the thing: if there's an AEW Invasion, where it benefits New Japan, especially expanding in the US, is, well, who's just recently signed with AEW? That's always been a central figure of any kind of invasion, any kind of like being the heroic figure. Fucking Sting. Sting interacting with fucking
not to mention,
people.
like, we're already getting AEW branching out to Impact with Don Callis, and guess where else Don Callis has worked in the last few years? Fucking New Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, Foster does ask a good question. I think care is a bit strong of a word, but could they benefit from an association with AEW, even if only short term? I think so. At this point, with them getting Sting and how they're kind of lining things up, I do think so. But I would stress only for their American expansion and everything else. See, that's why I'm kind of disappointed with New Japan Strong, because if New Japan Strong was a different kind of show, I really feel like they could benefit. But it really does seem more like of a televised Young Lion territory.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. I'm not trying to shit on it, right? But if it was a different
it's like
kind
Young
of show,
Lions and freelancers that New Japan approves of.
Exactly. And if it was a different kind of show that's like, this is a New Japan show, but this is really centered on our American market. Oh, dude, absolutely. If you keep the AEW stuff to that show and maybe some big pay-per-views, if you're doing big shit, oh my God, they'd benefit tremendously. But I do think they'd benefit, but I don't see where structurally with the materials they're working with, I don't see how that benefit can be actualized without it being a bit messy. I don't know. But I'm not dismissing it out of hand. I am keeping it on the table just because it is Wrestle Kingdom 2. I mean, dude, let's be real. How many people expected them to start an angle, albeit it was a very basic angle, but with fucking Kenta attacking Naito last year? When he was doing his outro. Nobody saw that coming. No. We just thought it was going to be a clean ending. So I think dismissing anything you're saying or anything I'm saying, it just, it wouldn't be wise because it is Wrestle Kingdom. So I am going to keep it straightforward. I'm just going to say Ibushi wins both nights. But you've given me a lot to think about, because now I'm going to be thinking, well, shit. Is Ibushi going to cheat in either one of these matches? Is Ibushi going to fall short? Is Jay White... Like, how is Jay White? You'd have to think Jay White's going to be healing it up in that fucking match because he healed it up to win the briefcase. But... Is him losing, like, is Evil going to betray him at New Year's Dash, and that's going to, humble him? So I have a lot of questions now. I have a lot of fucking questions now. But I know we're not even technically done because we still have, like, night 2.
Night 2, baby. Let's do night 2.
Let's get through.
First thing on night 2, do we want to talk about the Stardom matches in night 2?
Yeah, we can do that real quick.
All right. Well, the 2 Stardom matches. The first one, we've got QQ represented by Saya Kamitani, Azumi, and Otami, versus Donna Del Mundo, represented by Micah, Natsupoi, and Himeka. I guess just to kind of just go first here, I am going to pick DDM to win here. Micah is pretty much the fucking QQ killer at this point. Himeka, she's a powerhouse. I really feel like it's more likely that either Azumi or Saya Kamitani eats the pin than anyone on DDM on this team. So I'm going to pick... let's say Micah puts Saya Kamitani to sleep here.
Very interesting. You went with DDM. I thought you'd go with QQ because QQ's at least got the world champion representing him in this match.
Yeah, but again, though, with Stardom, I focus less on who the best is and more on who the worst is, and not even necessarily the worst, but like weakest. And in this match, I feel like DDM, like all 3 members have a higher power level than Saya. And at least 2 of the 3 members have a higher power level than Azumi.
I think the only thing that gives credence in my mind to your prediction of DDM winning is this is before Micah's title match.
Yeah.
And they may want to, like, in the next backstage promo that you and I react to on whatever Stardom show, Micah may even want to mention, like, and I beat Utami's team at Wrestle Kingdom.
I made your tag partner pass out. I put her to sleep.
Exactly. God, that's actually a really great way to build a contender. Because here's the thing, with Stardom being owned by the same company that owns New Japan, it's not like Stardom's an outsider trying to get in on this turf. You know what I mean? It's not like, okay, let's showcase our best and brightest so we can get that Wrestle Kingdom spot. Yeah. I feel like, it's kind of the reverse. You're getting the Wrestle Kingdom spot because we know we can have your best and brightest. So they're not really about making the best impression. They can forward narratives. Dude, I was going in ready to pick QQ for this. I think you convinced me. I'm going to go with DDM. I think Mike is gonna get the win for her team and kind of strengthen her position as number one contender. So I'll go into you on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought I wanted to say something and then I just completely lost it. So I guess let's just move on to the second Stardom match. Mayu and Tam definitely losing to Shuri and Julia.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, those two are going to implode, I think.
I mean, even if they weren't a fucking time bomb ready to explode, it's Shuri and Julia. They're not losing to anyone. Like, not only is it two of the most credible singles wrestlers in Stardom, but now their chemistry is at like 3,000 because of the fucking 30-minute match that they had with each other where they bonded.
Yeah, dude, they couldn't even beat each other. Who the fuck is going to beat them when they're a team?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah. Mayu and Tam, I don't even know if this match will go 10 minutes, honestly. Mayu and Tam might explode before then. But let's get into our first official match of the show, which is the four-way match to determine the provisional KPW. Didn't we already talk? Oh, you said Yano, I said Fale, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So then let's get into our first match that actually matters. Suzuki-gun, Desperado and Kanemaru versus 1 or 8, which is the tag team name for Taguchi and Master Wato for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Titles.
I think I'm just going to go Suzuki-gun here.
I'm going to pick 1 or 8. I don't like Taguchi, but they're putting him with Wato. Wato is like one of those kind of talents on the rise. I know New Japan loves Taguchi. I think they're going to win the titles, even if it's only for a brief period of time.
I can respect that, man. Junior tag titles are treated like shit. You're probably going to be correct on this one. I'm just going to stick with Suzuki-gun, maybe just because I do hate fucking Taguchi. So.
All right. So then we get Shingo versus Cobb for the Never Openweight Championship, and I guess the cat's out of the bag since I already did say that the Empire is sweeping the weekend for me. I am picking Cobb to win the Never Openweight title here. He's held it before, so it'd be a second run with it.
You know what? Even though I still don't think they're sweeping the night personally, Cobb's joining of the Empire is still fairly recent, and he's definitely somebody that I think needs something to do. And I still don't know if we've seen the best out of him. So I'm actually going to co-sign with you on this. I think Cobb becomes Never Openweight champion. All
right. Glad we agree on that. Next up, Evil Sonata singles match. Oh.
Dude, can I be honest and pull the knife out quick? I think Evil's winning this.
I do too, and I hate it. I know, dude. He's going to win because he's going to have all the support of the Bullet Club. And then they're going to screw Jay White in the main event.
Yeah, dude, and plus, not to be that guy, but Sonata already beat him to go to the G1 finals, so I feel like Evil winning here is kind of a bigger deal in a way because it's Wrestle Kingdom, and they want to keep Evil, they want to keep that heat going. I hate it. I hate that he's really like a better book Jinder Mahal in a way. Like, they give him the right wins to keep him going. But yeah, that's what's happening. Angel, I don't know when, but not soon enough. And I was also about to tell Javaris, when the fuck is Suzuki going to become world champion? I have questions, New Japan. Questions that demand fucking answers.
You know what? The thing about Sonata is he is relatively young, but he's not like the youngest. He's 32, so he is pretty damn young. He's still got like another 6 or so years before New Japan's ready to just be like, okay, he's just going to be a never won the big one guy. So I'm hoping he wins the title within the next 6 years or so. But yeah, you and I both pick Evil, unfortunately. Let's get to our semi-main event, which is Taiji Ishimori versus, according to both of us, Hiromu Takahashi, because, it was Takahashi or Phantasmo. We both picked Takahashi. So, I'm picking Hiromu to win the title here. I think he's getting it back.
Okay, I just want to say something, and this isn't about predictions, because I actually agree with you, Hiromu. There are so many guys in 2021 that I want to do something else. Obviously, Juice is the big one, right? And then in my fantasy world, Suzuki becomes world champion finally, because, it's what he fucking deserves. But Hiromu's another one. Hiromu really is another one. I'd like him to step out of the junior division this year. So I do think he's going to win the title. I just really hope, man, that title doesn't become an anchor to him, and you could maybe even just like debate if that hasn't happened already. He's so good. He's so good. I really wish that neck injury never happened. One, because just injuries suck in general, but he seemed to have so much momentum at that time. And even though I feel like he's had like no problem getting it back in one way because he's still really good and he's still charismatic as fuck, I don't know if New Japan's maybe a bit tentative about pushing him all the way. I don't know. Yeah. It's just weird that he's like, I don't know if maybe I'm just ranting for nothing. I just feel like Hiromu is above this, and I want to see him do something other than the junior division in 2021. But I do agree with you. He is winning the title here.
So, God, I do want to... fuck me.
Mood.
So here's the thing. Foster said something earlier, and I've been thinking about it ever since. He said earlier that we basically haven't addressed the possibility that Naito retains on both nights.
That is true. That is true. I don't want to like make a joke here because, you know, Foster is beautiful and he makes a legitimate point. We really have.
That's just really stuck in my crawl because here's the thing. I do think that the most likely possibility, and this is, so let me actually walk you through my thought process. So
yes.
while we were talking about the whole Bullet Club fracture and the AEW invasion and that whole thing, and I just kind of blurted out, I am going to pick Ibushi to win both nights. What went through my head there was, well, I already said Naito is at a 20% chance. And the more we talk, the more I think that Jay White is losing on night 2 because of the fact that I think that the Bullet Club is either going to betray him and cost him that match, or they're going to betray him because he loses that match at New Year Dash by attacking him either during or after the match, that it's like a multi-man tag, right? So that gave me the idea of like, okay, maybe Jay's chances are actually significantly lower than I thought too. And if Jay's chances are less than half of the remainder, that means that Ibushi has the best chance to win on night 2. So I went with Ibushi. That was my logic. It was probably flawed. I probably had some, fallacies sprinkled throughout that whole thing. But that's what I was thinking at the time. Now, I don't really know what to say about Ibushi. I think Ibushi winning the title would make a lot of sense. But Foster mentioning the possibility that Naito retains both nights, I have been saying that since Ibushi won the G1. Hell, I might have even been saying that before Ibushi won the G1. I might have been saying like, oh, whoever wins the G1, it doesn't matter because Naito's retaining regardless, during the G1. Maybe even before the G1, I don't know. This has kind of been my thinking the entire time. So the problem I'm having is I could see New Japan being like, oh, coronavirus fucked up our 2020. Let's just do all the shit that we wanted to do during those shutdown months this year with Naito as champion. We could get Naito Hiromu at an anniversary show. We could get whatever they were planning on doing with Naito in March, April, and May, and June last year, this year.
Yeah.
So that's what's got me really like stuck on this, because while I do think that if New Japan just wants to move forward and kind of forget that they basically lost 4 months out of their booking, and just move on and give the title to Ibushi and do what they want to do with him, I can't shake the feeling that one of these companies is going to be like, hey, we have an opportunity to do the shit that we wanted to do last year. Now let's get that going and let's do it. It's not going to hurt anything, and we're going to get to tell the stories that we've wanted to tell. So shit, man. I mean, God, do you?
If you want to, man. I mean, that's the beauty of preview and predictions. We come in.
Well, really, and especially too, because if Jay loses, which I'm assuming he will, I think you and I both agree that there is like a 98% chance Jay White loses on night 2.
Yeah, dude, because I don't want to take away your time to talk, because I can see you're working through your thoughts, but I just want to say very quickly, I see it because I don't really think you could effectively do a Bullet Club fracture without Jay losing.
Yeah,
because I think,
which
Evil
is also, I think,
right?
a big reason why it makes so much sense for Evil to win, because you have Evil win and Jay White lose. Jay is supposed to be the leader of Bullet Club. Evil throws a fucking coup, and that's how the thing works, right?
Yes, exactly.
But here's my thing, though. What if it's not a full-blown fracturing? What if it's literally just Jay White getting excommunicated, and it's that simple, and Jay turns babyface, and the whole Bullet Club stays together as it is?
That could also happen.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's entirely possible, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking happens, though, because Jay, first of all, he's already a babyface in my book, just as a human being. But second of all, Jay losing here, what could really be the catalyst to the Bullet, or not the catalyst, but really the foreshadowing of the Bullet Club turning on him at New Year Dash, could be him losing, getting emotional, maybe not necessarily as emotional as like Okada crying on his way to the back at Wrestle Kingdom 9 after losing to Tanahashi, but like you can clearly see that it affects him and he's sad about losing, and then he has to walk to the back by himself because no one in the Bullet Club comes out with him. But then here's my thing, though. What if one of the things that New Japan wants to do this year that they couldn't do last year, or that they didn't do last year, is have Naito close out Wrestle Kingdom as the double champion and do the fucking roll call in full, uninterrupted? Because if Jay White walks to the back without Bullet Club, that means a Bullet Club ain't coming out. And if Bullet Club ain't coming out, who the fuck else is going to interrupt Naito? Nobody. So Naito would get his moment finally.
Yeah, that is true. Since we're having an active discussion about this, I just feel like Ibushi again gets left out in the crowd. Like, what does Ibushi do after
Well, but
this?
that's another thing, though, dude, is that we were saying the exact same thing about Naito in 2017. We said the exact same thing. He won the G1. It felt like the culmination of a story because it was against fucking Okada, and Okada was the whole reason, or he was the opponent, the Intercontinental Championship match that went to a goddamn poll, and Okada fucking took that from him, right? Like, that was the whole story. That was the whole story. Like, and not to mention, like, I'll tell you straight up, the one and only reason, not, again, I already walked you through my logic. Another big reason that really played into me picking Ibushi is his age. Dude's 38 years old. He's never won a world title. I really feel like if he doesn't win one in the next year or two, he's never going to win one in New Japan. They're just going to.
Yeah.
So I am so fucking torn on whether to have Naito retain both nights or Ibushi win both nights. The only thing I'm confident about is that Jay is losing on night 2, and that's because I genuinely think that that's going to be what leads to him getting excommunicated from the Bullet Club at New Year Dash. So in my mind, it has almost become like a 50-50 toss-up between Naito and Ibushi, and I can't fucking figure out who I want to pick, because Ibushi makes a lot of sense storyline-wise, but there have been instances of where it made sense for a guy to win the world title at Wrestle Kingdom from a storyline perspective, and New Japan said, nah, fuck you, you gotta wait.
Can I ask you something, Ashton? Just to kind of help your thought process. Like, are we too wedded to the idea, and I actually really love the variance of voices both in chat and here, are we too wedded to the idea that Ibushi has to win his first world title at a Wrestle Kingdom? Could it happen?
Yes, absolutely yes.
So who's to say that Ibushi still couldn't do it this year, but maybe at a Dominion or at KOPW?
See, but I'll tell you the reason why I don't think that's going to happen. Naito Ibushi has been done so much, and if they're going to have them wrestle again at Wrestle Kingdom, I don't think that they would wrestle again this year. And so in order for that to happen, Naito would have to lose the title relatively. Oh, that's another thing that played into my mind. I think I agree that Osprey's winning the fucking title at New Beginning, but guess the fuck what? New Japan doesn't do short title reigns. So Naito would almost have to retain to have the long title reign get ended at the end of January or beginning of February, rather than having a 1 month reign that gets lost to Osprey.
I feel like the only 2 short reigns that I've known of in New Japan's history were Evil's recent reign, because it didn't last that long, and Naito's first reign with the title, which I think lasted only like 45 days, I want to say. It didn't last that long either. But you're right. Relatively speaking, short title reigns are the outlier. They're the anomaly in that championship history, right, not the norm by any means.
Yeah. So, the shortest reign in the last...
And Matt's correct me. It was 70 days, but still,
in the last few years, actually. The shortest reign since 2004 was Tanahashi's reign, where he won it at Wrestle Kingdom and then dropped it at New Beginning to Jay White. We could get the exact same thing happening this year, I think, or that would be required for that exact same thing to happen this year, in order for anybody other than Naito retaining to leave Wrestle Kingdom as champion. if Osprey is the one that we think is going to win at New Beginning.
And see, I just want to address Andrew real quick, but see, bro, that's exactly the reaction they'd be looking for because Will is the heel.
Yeah.
And he's leading a heel faction. And they want Ibushi to get all of that sympathy because look at the dude. Like, look at what he's willing to do to put on great wrestling matches and try and win in the process. And then you've got Osprey, who could very well do those same things with his athleticism, but he has a faction. Now, I just want to say for the record, I just want to make my position perfectly clear. I don't necessarily like all of this. I'd like for just Ibushi to get his moment in the sun at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
What I'm more saying is I'm trying to help you argue your case and to not dismiss you out of hand because I can see it. I can genuinely see it because I do think if there's one flaw in the Ibushi camp logic, it's precisely what I just got done saying a few moments ago. We might be too wedded to him getting his moment specifically at a Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
It could just as easily happen at a Dominion or a KOPW. But again, I do agree with you. And
you know what though, dude? Another thought I had is we already said that we think Evil is going to beat Sonata. What if Osprey wins the world title at Dominion and we get Evil challenging at New Beginning? I mean, maybe they'll face each other. I don't fucking know because, like, we have Osprey beating Okada and we have Evil beating Sonata. And if you ask me, beating Okada is a hell of a lot more impressive than beating Sonata right now. As much as I love Sonata from a power standpoint, it's just objectively it's Okada. So you would think Osprey would take priority, but also like Evil's more willing to be a dickhead and ruin whoever's moment at the end of Wrestle Kingdom. Or is he at this point? I don't fucking know.
Dude, because here's the thing, right? If Evil does challenge, and again, we're still, I'm sorry, bro. I hate to do this to you, but we've thrown so many names out there. This is presuming that Naito does retain, correct?
Well, in this case, it could be either one of them because Evil or Osprey could be willing to crash either's party because they're both these like beloved baby faces. So it would make sense either way.
That is true. In that case, I mean, dude, if we get another Evil Naito matchup, I mean, we just know that we're skipping that because I really don't want to see these guys keep wrestling each other.
I actually didn't even there's a New Beginning in Nagoya that happens on January 30th. It's not even on the schedule because I don't know if we're going to want to react to it or not.
Dude, how ironic that the show is called New Beginning and it's fucking Evil Naito for the title. But yeah.
If that happens, I'm a fucking wizard, okay?
Yeah, dude. Legit, yeah. What do you expect me to say to that other than, yeah. But, yeah. I like, and see, again, that's why I told Foster in chat, like, because he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Ashley, I didn't mean to, like, do all this. But no, I do love having discussions like this, so I'm not even annoyed. Like, I feel like quick preview predictions are boring. I don't know, though. Because, like, at the same time, though, when, and you've already kind of said this, so I'm just restating it. When has New Japan ever really told a straightforward Queen story? Like, ever. Like, ever.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why I'm so hesitant about Ibushi now.
Yeah, and like, fuck, man. I will say this, if Ibushi doesn't win here, I would, again, I'm just more stressing this as a preference rather than as an argument for either side. I'd really prefer that Ibushi just win the title at Dominion or KOPW. I really don't want him to win another G1. Because by that point, even I get a little tired.
But like, what if he gets an edge, John?
I don't know if that'd be enough for me, bro. I'm just going to be honest. Like, I don't even know if you were being facetious there. Like,
I don't know if I was either, honestly, because I could see doing that. I could see Ibushi losing and then snapping, but not turning heel and just being even like, just being like really aggressive and like, trigger.
So mastering murder mode, maybe.
Yes, I was just about to say triggering murder mode when he didn't even need to, just to beat the piss out of people. Like, I don't know. I think that like if they really wanted to go there, they could have Ibushi just show a more violent side, and that would be like the thing that gets people back interested. And then you could have him be a real like special G1 competitor because nobody's ever won 3 in a row.
Yeah, it's funny that like if they'd have him win 3 in a row. They try and like make him Okada without actually making him Okada. Yeah. Like we'll give you the records, but like none of the hardware to go with it. Jesus. God damn it! Now what do I want to do?
I know, dude. I'm so torn right now.
See, Foster, you ended up getting us both because you talk long enough, you start doubting yourself.
Yeah.
That is the only benefit of keeping speech concise is you don't give yourself any time to doubt yourself. And Javaris said, I feel like if Ibushi's lose here, then I may not give a shit about Ibushi and then I know anymore. See, Javaris, I can sympathize with that, because I always go back to, and I don't know why I always use this as an example when really it was kind of his fault too, and that's not even trying to be a dick, but I always go back to, like, when were they going to put the title on Jeff Hardy the first time? Because it seemed like they were taking way too long. When you've got a hot baby face.
I feel like we can have that discussion about Kenny Omega too, because he won the G1 and then lost at Wrestle Kingdom.
And everybody felt like he was ready at Wrestle Kingdom.
Exactly. That's why I keep saying we cannot just assume that just because it feels like it's Ibushi's time, we can't just assume that it is.
And Jay White and Naito do have a bit of history. But see, at the same time, so are we still really committed? There's no doubt, right, that Jay White's losing? We're not opening that can of worms, right?
100%,
we're staying resolute in that. Okay, so
I've officially gone up from 98% to 100%. Jay White is losing on day 2.
Bro, low-key, if we are wrong about that, I'll be pissed that we expended all this energy just to be wrong about the wrong thing.
I know. If we were wrong on that, massive props to New Japan for truly subverting expectations.
But despite me being pissed at us expending all of our energy, like, focusing on the wrong thing, I'd still be so fucking happy for Jay, because the dude deserves it. Like, I can't even be mad. I'd be like, but putting that aside.
Then he could go through, like, a rock star phase where, like, he starts, like, showing up to press conferences drunk and shit, and it's like, oh my god, this dude's world champion, and he's somehow still hitting rock bottom.
We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Yeah. So, okay, the locus of our attention then, of course, is Naito Ibushi. Man, I really didn't expect this to happen, bro. I really didn't expect this to happen. Fuck. Like, I don't know.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Jeez. Oh, Jesus.
Because here's another thing, too. Do you feel like New Japan at all might have been affected? See, no, that doesn't make any sense, because they've never given a fuck. New Japan is going to tell stories on New Japan time. Because I was going to be like, do you think New Japan might have gotten a bit of the Vince McMahon bug, given that Kenny just, like, opted and left, and he was like, oh, I'm going to do this AEW thing. And, like, maybe they're just taking advantage that they have Ibushi. I don't know.
That's another thing. Oh my God, that's another. You know what? Fuck it. I'm picking Naito to retain on both nights. Let's not forget, Kenny Omega explicitly said when he left and didn't bring Ibushi with him that he left Ibushi there so that he could become the IWGP World Champion on his own. If maybe New Japan feels like if they put the title on him, he'll leave them.
See, I only wanted to bring that up because I'm wondering if they caught a bit of the Vince McMahon syndrome. If we push them too hard, they're just going to leave us anyway. So we're going to perpetually dangle the carrot.
Well, and it's so much more complex here and more emotional here, because it's not just they'll leave us. It's he'll leave us to go be with his fucking lover, to go be with his best friend over in the US in AEW, the same company that robbed us of like a third of our talent a year ago.
Oh my God, my feminine side raised on Lifetime movies has just gotten a whole new investment in this match. What the fuck? Because now I'm like, am I rooting for the title win or the relationship? And I feel like the way you articulated it, it's really yes, because it's both. It's both. For Ibushi to know true happiness, he has to win. How can I not root for that? God damn it. Oh, fucking hell. I don't even really necessarily like Kenny as a person, but I do still find their romance endearing to a degree. Fucking hell. Does New Japan believe in true love or not? That's what night one's gonna answer.
New Japan believes in dollar bills, y'all, and that does not include romance.
The Naito's winning, and there's no hope for any of us.
I know! That's why I changed my and picked him!
Bro, I'm just gonna tell you right now. Now, you know I love you. I want to go on record and saying I love this man very dearly. In fact, I know I've joked about turning heel on him, but we've played both Speedrunners and some other game that I didn't turn heel on you on, and it even exposed to me that, like, my heart has grown 3 sizes, and I should probably get that checked. So I say this with all the love in the world. If I jump ship on this, which I'm really about to, and Ibushi wins, I am going to glare at you so silently over the recording that you're going to lean in your little anxiety that I know perks up when we have dead air too long. You're going to be like, you there? And I'm not even going to feed you the line. I'm going to let you stew in it. I'm going to let you stew in it for that little bit. And then I'm going to be like, yeah. And I'm just going to let that linger. And you're going to know what it means. Because I'm telling you right now.
I'm going to redirect it to Foster for bringing it up.
Yeah, that's a good idea. In fact, you're right. Because if this does happen, in a way, it's all his fault.
I'm saying, right?
And then I could set him up with a therapist that in a year's time is going to dump him just like mine did to me, thus hurting him all over again.
Oh, Jesus.
Perfect. Okay, yeah. Now that I have a contingency plan in place, let's totally go with Naito retaining. Sweet.
He's going there. He's doing the thing. Oh, my God.
The first thing if Ibushi wins is going to be like, so Foster, have you heard about this therapy setup program called Open Path? I'm going to hit up your DMs with the contact info. Oh, man. Don't worry, Foster. Do you really think I'm that depraved to do it? I am
Yes.
depraved to do it. So yeah, I'm gonna jump ship in the most historic pivot in Twitwow fucking history. I'm gonna go with Naito to retain against Ibushi.
How bad do you want that? How bad do you want to jump onto that ship, John?
I mean, here's the thing. This is 150% honesty, which I should really learn to work on in the new year. The feminine side of me that was raised on Lifetime movies is like, but no, love has to prosper. But the sadistic side of me that has just gone through all of this huge circle jerk where I didn't even come, is just like, yeah, fuck their mental health. Do it. Fuck their mental health. So I'm all for it. I'm not afraid to die, so let's jump that ship, baby. Jump. That ship, come on now, jump. That ship, it's Titanic. Jump. That ship, yeah.
So how would you feel if I went back to picking Ibushi to win both nights?
Oh my God.
Go fuck yourself. I will leave this recording right now.
I just want us to be on different sides of this coin, man.
Why? You've literally...
Because I don't want both of us to be wrong.
Listen. I know you have an addiction that you've never really, substantively addressed about being right, okay? But you need to commit to this.
I'm okay with being wrong. I think that the Naito side is the right side. I just don't want both of us to be wrong. And if I switch sides, the odds of us being both wrong go from 30% to 5%. And I'm happier with that.
Listen, man, I don't care about singing because we've already established this is all Foster's fault. Now, am I kind of fomenting a complex in him right now? Probably, but that's a him problem. So, since we've kind of put this all on Foster, I feel like the investment, there's no risk for us now. Because, it's just we just group glare at Foster, and then, he's just hug emojis, and then, of course, I'll break first. And then I'm like, of course,
see, but you know what, though? Another reason for me to jump ship, because then whichever one of us is right can come to Foster's defense when the person that's wrong glares at him.
That is true. Shit. But being serious again.
Either one.
Being serious again.
Yeah.
I think the most serious point is actually something that really you said, and then I kind of doubled down on earlier. New Japan tells stories on New Japan Time.
Exactly.
Just because,
Ibushi could still win the title at Dominion or KOPW. We don't know. He doesn't have to win the title or titles or however you want to describe it at Wrestle Kingdom. And a thing that pisses me off too is that there was definitely a point within the last 4 months that Naito explicitly said that he was going to start defending the title separately, and yet here we fucking are.
Foster. Because Omega, when he finally beat Okada, that wasn't at a Wrestle Kingdom, right? That was at a Dominion or something, if I remember correctly.
Shit, I think you're right, but let me look it up in case. Let's see. He lost to Okada.
It was Dominion 2018, according to Craig.
The Dominion match, the first Dominion match in 2017 was an hour draw. And then Dominion, was that 2019?
2018, Craig said.
2018, yeah. That was what that. So it took 3 matches for Kenny to finally beat Okada.
Yeah. So.
And it was a year and a half after losing to him at Wrestle Kingdom after winning the G1 and feeling like golden child.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel so bad for Ibushi because I swear to God, if Kenny's kind of tanked his career with those comments, that really sucks for him. That's not his fault. But yeah,
I'm not jumping ship. I'm sticking with Naito.
you know what? Just thinking about New Japan's booking, man, I'm sticking with Naito too. Like, I know we had our fun and we joked, but I'm being deadly serious right now. New Japan tells stories on New Japan Time.
Yep. I think we're locked in. I think we've talked ourselves into the dumbest possible pick here, and we're here.
Although I will say, even though I don't want to cause a whole new discussion, I'm just saying, even though I do think Jay White is going to fail, I do think his odds of actually winning the title become a bit higher against Naito than Ibushi, because I really did.
I agree with that, because I don't think that there will be 2 title changes over the course of Wrestle Kingdom.
Right.
So I agree that if Naito retains, I still think it's like 95-5 that Naito retains.
I'm right there with you.
But if Ibushi wins, it's 100% he's retaining against Jay.
Man, Foster, you're a fucking power, bro. But yeah, Naito. I can't believe I'm switching this fucking late in the game, but not.
Dude, if we end up being right about this, it's the biggest fucking Galaxy brain play in history.
I know, right? I know. And if we're wrong about it, it's just classic TwitWow New Year's.
Exactly. Yeah, if we're wrong, we'll laugh it off. We'll make a joke about it. We'll, it's your fault, it's it's Foster's fault, whatever the fuck. But if it's real, if it happens, we're bragging about it all goddamn year.
Oh, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. All right, Ibushi, it's on you. Don't choke, but maybe for my ego, kind of choke. I don't know. But I will say, though, oddly enough, this spirited, back and forth, convoluted, almost like Always Sunny in Philadelphia kind of conspiracy meme discussion has really raised my hype. I think I'm at a full-blown 10 for this show.
Yeah,
just
dude,
for the results.
Same,
just
dude,
for the fucking results.
Low-key, like, I think the thing that has me the most excited, other than the world title, bouts, is actually the Empire matches, believe it or not.
Yeah, I actually would agree with you there, because I am curious if I'm going to be right about Tanahashi beating Great-O Okan. And I do definitely think Osprey's beating Okada. So, yeah.
All right, here we fucking go. I cannot believe that we just went all the way around the unicorn.
Yeah, thanks for the journey, Foster. So, yeah, we'll see you guys. Thanks for the journey,
Faster.
Oh my God. Well, he's not recovering from that shit. We'll see you guys Monday and Tuesday at 3 for Wrestle Kingdom Night 1 and 2 respectively. I can't fucking wait, and I'm so happy and honored to support both these companies, that being
hey, you know what, Foster? Sorry to interrupt you, John, but Foster said if y'all are right, I deserve a milkshake or something. Thank you. You know what, Foster? I'll tell you what, man. If Naito retains both nights, I will Venmo you $5 for a milkshake. You can buy one yourself.
Bro, it's so funny you said that, because I was literally thinking, like, I internalized the message. I wasn't going to say anything here, but I was literally going to hit him up in his DMs if he was right and be like, yo, what's your PayPal? I'm going to give you enough money for a milkshake.
Yo, yeah, PayPal's more convenient than Venmo for me, so I'll PayPal it to you. Yeah, I'll PayPal you $5, and if John's offering, he can PayPal you $5, and then you can go somewhere really fancy and get a really fancy fucking milkshake for yourself.
Yeah, we'll each PayPal you $5. I will commit to that right here. That's fucking. Yeah. I got
100%. We'll hold each other accountable too, and you can hold us accountable in chat too.
I got my stimulus check. I'm in the 1% now, baby. $5 ain't shit. So I'll PayPal you that. And I can tell you, McDonald's will have just gotten the milkshake machine fixed, and you can fucking have a party, Foster.
Oh yeah, that's another option. If you don't want to go get a really fancy milkshake from a higher end place, you can get like 4, I think, McDonald's milkshakes or something like that. You can really party.
Yeah, if Naito retains Bald Night, Foster, you're gonna be eating good on those milkshakes.
And at the cost of what? If he loses, we get to glare at you? I mean, who cares, right?
Yeah, you don't get to experience it. I mean, you seem very emotionally intuitive, so you probably can actually, but it'll pass. So this was definitely the most interesting preview and predictions in recent history, if not all time.
Maybe ever.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll see if Foster gets milkshakes or not. Yet another reason to add to the Wrestle Kingdom hype. So we'll see you guys Monday and Tuesday at 3. Be sure to leave a like as you file out. Click the bell icon, subscribe so you never get miss any of that 12 goodness. Check out everything in the description box. We've got an exciting month of content for you guys. We're reviewing the last 4 remaining SmackDowns of the month, and no Raws because Raw can go fuck itself. So that feels really good. Yeah. I know we've got 2 TwitWow requests on the horizon, which we'll work out at a later date, and we've got Stardom content. So it should be, and of course, the big thing this month, besides fucking Wrestle Kingdom, Royal Rumble, and we do our Royal Rumble mini game and our preview and predictions.
That first schedule that I sent you, I actually forgot Royal Rumble live reactions.
Oh, that's fine, because I think I mentally added that, and even so, the schedule didn't look that bad. I think, honestly, the first week is the roughest part. We get through the first, well, not the, you know what I mean by, first full week.
It's the most content-dense part.
Exactly. Once we get through that, easy. And that's really a relief to me, because
we do have 2 requests on the way that aren't on the schedule, but we all kind of agreed to kind of work out dates and times for those after this week. Exactly.
So we'll see you guys then. I'm gonna hand it over to Ash to take us home, but thank you guys for such a fun preview, and we'll see who comes out right in the end on this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we really do hope that you enjoyed. I know that we sure as shit enjoyed, because this was just so much fun just to go all over the place and arrive somehow at a completely different conclusion than we started at. That's always fun. If you did enjoy, though, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, click the bell icon to join the notification squad, follow us on Twitter and Twitch, and if you would like to support the channel, you can also subscribe on Twitch, buy our merch on Teespring, donate to our Patreon, and share this channel and this video with all your wrestling fan friends, and let them in on the best kept secret in the YouTube and Twitch wrestling community, because we are TwitWow, and we are the workhorses of the Y&T WCs. And we will certainly be proving that point this coming week, because we have got commentaries every single day. Monday, Wrestle Kingdom Day 1. Tuesday, Wrestle Kingdom Day 2. Wednesday, NXT review. Thursday, Stardom and New Year Dash doubleheader. Friday, more Stardom. And Saturday, more fucking Stardom. I can't wait. I hope that you're all looking forward to it anywhere close to as much as I'm looking forward to it. And we will see you then, but only if you remember to stay tuned.